Hey, I'm Ben, and I'm driving a Model 3 long-range dual motor. It has a 322-mile range. It's a 2020. Its MSRP is just under $50K. It also has the full self-driving package as an add-on. It is running the latest Tesla full self-driving software, which is version 10.2. I've had it for about 8 months. And I really enjoy both the fact that it gets about 130 miles to a gallon efficiency equivalent, and that it also is super fun and zippy to drive.
So we're going to take a trip through some rural Athens County roads. The route we've decided on is actually the route that the Roadmap Project's autonomous vehicle pilot demonstration is going to be looking at.
Any FaceTime audio.
And now I'll get a call from Ben's friend. The goal of this project has been to identify some of the challenges that autonomous vehicles face on rural roads, which tend to have features that are challenging for autonomous driving systems to react to. So here momentarily, Ben is going to turn on the fully autonomous setting, and
you should be able to see this walker actually. Maybe no. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, sometimes it picks up people.
Yeah. If you look at the screen here, when it has a little steering wheel, that means you can turn on self-driving mode. And I can control the speed by moving the wheel up and down, and then kind of keep my
and we just encountered the first feature that drives Teslas crazy, and that is black pavement.
Yeah.
So it doesn't know what to do when the lane line in the side or center, and there are no, as you see here. Yeah.
It stayed self-driving there.
Okay.
But it is, and so it knows that there should be a stop sign up here at the intersection.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see how that.
Or black pavement.
And so it's.
But there is not actually a stop sign at this
intersection. There's one over there, but yeah, not one here.
Okay, so you just took it off autonomous so that you could make that hairpin turn.
Yes.
Okay, safe. Back to autonomous.
Now, one thing is, normally it knows what speed limit a road is. On rural roads, though, it often doesn't, right? So on a highway, it'll know it's 55 or 60 or 70.
Yeah, so it has to kind of guess and maybe rely on the drivers setting the speed limit.
Yeah, so I'm just setting the speed limit. I don't actually know what the speed limit is here.
What was your motivation for picking this vehicle when you could have chosen any car, I assume?
So I bought this car for my business, and I go to different kind of metro areas in Ohio, and it had enough range to get to all of them. And it was one of the few that kind of had that amount of range, because it has 322 miles of range, so you can get to Columbus and back multiple times, Cincinnati, Cleveland, without any sweat at all.
Very good. So yeah, 325 miles of range is significant. When you do need to charge, where do you typically charge?
I really only charge at home for the most part, or if I'm like driving far away, superchargers. The supercharger network is really pretty amazing. How fast you actually can see here if we hit charger. You can see my last time supercharging. It was $2.75, and it was about 5 minutes and added 41 miles of range. But yeah, like that's a super fast stop. And was just because I had been away from home for 4 days or something like that.
And do you charge at home also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Primarily. You can see here, it does see the stop sign, which is now beside us, so it's actually out of the view of the car, and the stop stripe that's in front of us.
Okay, so now we're heading on to a faster and better lined road. So it has a center lane and 2 side lanes. You've told it 45. Is it in fully autonomous as we speak? Whoa, that was really terrifying. Yeah,
It's 55 is the speed limit here. It believes I can bring it back down.
Got it. So it thinks that we should be going 55, and I don't know anyone, even those of us who are very seasoned drivers on these roads, would not dare go 55 on them.
No.
All right, it's okay, and you're back in control. Okay. Back to autonomous.
We're gonna keep it at 40.
Yeah.
For right now, we'll see how it does at 40.
Okay. So this is a nice flat stretch. The vehicle sees cars oncoming. Does it see cars behind it?
Yes, and up to 2 cars in front of it.
Very good.
So it seems like it's doing fine. I'm gonna bump it up to 45 for a bit. We'll see how it does.
Okay.
Tesla recommends you keep your hands on the wheel at all times, as we've seen that's important.
Indeed. So yeah, highway driving what's that experience been as compared to what we're doing right now?
Oh, it's great. This car, when I first got it, I drove it to Manhattan, and it drove probably 80% of the way to Manhattan almost completely on its own. So
that's amazing.
It's for long highway driving, it's so nice. So it's doing an okay job here. It's probably going to see this stop sign coming up. Yep.
Well, let's see the people hugging on the side of the road.
Yeah, there's it.
That was great.
Okay. Now
and it brought itself to
sees the stop stripe and it's going to stop here.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, now we're really picking it up on the highway. Yeah, that acceleration is something to get used to. What is the acceleration rate?
This car does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, which is kind of the mid-range for the Model 3.
Okay, so we're here in the city of Athens. We're about to make a left onto Simpson Avenue and encounter our first roundabout. So roundabouts present a very unique challenge to an autonomous car. Ben, what can you say about roundabouts in your experience?
The car definitely knows about roundabouts. It'll probably stop here, so it actually sees there's a roundabout coming, and it's going to stop for that roundabout as it comes up to it, and then it's probably just not going to be able to do the roundabout going forward.
I see.
So we'll
kind of had a hard stop.
And this is when it wants you to take the wheel because it just doesn't know what to do.
Got it. And generally, would you say it's pretty conservative about, like, when in doubt, it's like, get the wheel. Like, it's not gonna, like, try to map something that has even the slightest amount of uncertainty?
So we're coming up to a stoplight here. It's gonna ask me to confirm to go through it. Because we're not close enough to a car that it's following. So if there's a car in front of it, it will follow it. There's some steel plates here, so I'm going to take cover for a second.
Steel plates. A common road feature, for sure. Probably no matter where you are, there's road construction, and that's likely to be something that...
So again, it's going to come here to the stop sign. Maybe not. This is a particularly challenging time for vision-based systems as well, because there's the sun coming right into the cameras.
Okay, four-way intersection here. And the screen's showing us, you know, that there's a red light ahead. You told it that it was a red light?
No.
It told itself.
Yeah, it knows this is a red light.
Okay.
And then it sees the car across the intersection from us as well.
Oh, very good.
And then now the lights are green. And I'll put it back into self-driving mode here.
We also have these lovely, historic, but extremely uneven cobblestones or brick streets here in Athens, which, I don't know, has that made a difference? Do you think the vehicle, which is pretty darn durable, does it have any issues with brick pavement?
I haven't noticed any particularly. It doesn't seem like it has that same trouble with like black pavement that it has with bricks. I think maybe they're higher contrast to white lines. So it's green, but I haven't told it to go yet. So now...
Okay. So it waits for your cue.
Yeah. And again, when we get to this light, which is yellow now, it's going to stop on its own. And then it's going to wait when it turns green until I tell it to go.
Okay.
It doesn't want to go, drive out in front of a car that might be crossing an intersection late at this point. So it's green.
So it also is using its GPS feature to... Did you tell it where we were going?
Yeah, so now we should probably give it a new place to go.
Okay.
And it'll...
Expect to navigate there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Which definitely helps it with picking lanes, I found.
Yeah, so the more information, the more inputs the vehicle has, the better it is at overall navigation, would you say?
But it's not on auto navigation right now, so I'm going to have to take over and make this turn myself.
Okay. So thus far on our trip, you've been able to put it in autonomous or in self-driving mode for like maybe a little less than maybe half of the trip, and you've had to get in control about half the time, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's self-driving mode has been available for most of the trip, but it's definitely taken a lot more driver intervention and taking over than normal. So this road has no markings, and so the Tesla doesn't have much of an idea of where the lanes are.
And it's not offering you autonomous driving in this circumstance.
I can turn on the cruise control, but that's about it.
Okay, and now we're gonna make a right onto Stroud's Run Road, and this is going to hopefully be a fully autonomous opportunity yet again. Two vehicles on the way.
Let's see if we'll see a hiker here along the roadway.
Doesn't see the hiker.
Doesn't look like it's putting on screen at least. It probably does see the hiker, but it tends to ignore things that are not in your lane.
Yeah, that are not direct. So in your experience, have you ever encountered a deer at close range or any other sort of short, quick kind of unexpected surprises while you're driving?
I've definitely encountered stuff on the highway, which it currently doesn't avoid. That's supposedly a future. So notice that we don't have a speed limit here, but we just passed a 45 miles per hour speed limit.
Oh wow.
Which is probably going to be a little bit much for this really tight turn that's coming up.
Yeah, oh my gosh, no, this one, I'm going to be so ready because
I'm going to drop it down to 30 and see how it does.
This is a pretty intense turn. I've known several people who've had a pretty serious
30 miles an hour, it does it pretty well.
Yeah, it held that very well.
So we can increase it
up to
40 miles an hour.
broken pavement and such. Not the big black patches so far. But
It does have a recently replaced part coming up here in a little ways. We'll see if that...
yeah, triggers something.
45 is what it appears like it thinks it wants to be limited at, so it won't go over 45 even if I were to increase the speed.
Interesting. I see. So if you were like, I'm going to be crazy and go 50, the car's like,
Yeah, and it does that based on what kind of road it thinks it is.
I see.
Based on where the GPS says it is, the lane markings, things like that.
Well, that's nice.
So even though it doesn't know what speed limit this is, it's capping us at a 45.
Yeah.
This is a residential area, so I'm going to decrease it down to 40 again.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it seems to the signs say 35, so we'll do that.
Yeah. And there tends to be a lot of cyclists and runners and such on this road, so. Okay. And we've made our way back to Stroud's Run.
And now we're back up to 45. Sometimes it has trouble with little hills like we're going to have here, a couple of them.
Oh, let's see this.
Because it can't see over them.
Yeah.
So this one is going to be interesting.
Oh, wow. It really accelerated on that.
I think it didn't
Wow.
decelerate at all. And
I
normally
see.
you and I, like humans, would.
We would decelerate on that.
We'd like,